Fala galera do Drops de Jogos, mais um Drops Debate, seu programa de entrevistas aqui sobre jogos brasileiros e jogos internacionais aqui no site Drops de Jogos. Estamos começando aqui a nossa live. Não esqueçam de dar o seu dedo aí no like para a gente aumentar o engajamento desse vídeo. É muito importante que a gente expanda aqui essa programação e traga todas as informações que vocês precisam aqui. Meu nome é Pedro Zambarda, sou jornalista, editor-chefe deste programa aqui de debate. Estamos chegando no finalzinho do ano e conseguimos uma exclusiva importantíssima. Hoje vamos falar com um dos criadores do Tibia, que eu não sei vocês, meus amigos. O Tibia foi um jogo que me formou como gamer, ele foi pioneiro na onda dos MMORPGs, é um jogo com uma longa história, é muito importante a gente lembrar, é um jogo de 1997, desenvolvido pela Sipsoft, que é a empresa do Steve, que vai conversar bastante aqui com a gente, uma exclusiva que nós conseguimos. Queria agradecer ao Jesus Fabri, que conseguiu essa entrevista espetacular aqui para a gente fechar o ano. E ele é um dos criadores desde o momento 1 lá, ele está presente, o Stephan Vogler, que vai poder conversar aqui com a gente e explicar tudo. Eu vou pedir para vocês também assistirem, quando vocês puderem, as entrevistas anteriores que a gente tem feito por aqui. Entrevistamos um cacique indígena pioneiro em times de esportes. Então a gente está trazendo aqui gente diferente, gente relevante para você se inteirar sobre a cena brasileira de games e a cena internacional de games. O Drops de Jogos tem há 6 anos no DNA do site esse viés aqui de ser uma ponte para desenvolvedores, para entusiastas, para todo mundo que quer se informar com qualidade, trazendo informações exclusivas e tudo o que importa aqui para todo mundo que nos acompanha. Deixem perguntas no chat, avisar para vocês aqui com antecedência nessa live, que a live será, evidentemente, o Stephan da Sipsoft, é uma empresa internacional, e a gente vai falar um pouquinho também, a gente vai falar em inglês. No final da entrevista, a gente vai explicar, é uma empresa, na verdade, alemã, ele fala inglês, a gente vai fazer a entrevista tudo em inglês, e no final da entrevista, pessoal, a gente vai dar os highlights para vocês, as frases principais do Steven, a gente vai tentar traduzir aqui com vocês, e vamos seguindo o barco. Steve, how are you? Welcome to Drops de Jogos.
Hi, Pedro. Thank you. I'm fine. Thank you. Nice for having me.
Nice for us having you to talk about Tibia and some MMORPGs. There are the massive RPGs. You are there, first of all, in 1997,
yes.
Like almost 15 years, more than 15 years.
It's almost 25 years ago now.
25. Sorry, my math is broke. But I have a question to start. You are called, I saw some previous interviews, you are called like a god in Tibia. Why you get that nickname? I wish my audience to know that.
Yes. It sounds awesome. Yes, but actually, for me, it's more of a technical term, and it's a nice question because it goes back to the roots of Tibia and to the very beginnings. So when we started to develop Tibia in the very early days, there weren't many online games around at that time. So only very simple and basic online games at that time existed, and the game time which usually you played at that time was called multi-user dungeon, MUD. So these were text-based games. So when you wanted to play it, you have to read the text where you are, and then you were entering like take sword and go north and fight orc or something like that. And in these games, the administrators have always been called gods, interestingly, and I think it's just because there were only usually maybe 1, 2, or 3 persons running these games, and and they were the creators of the games, and they were called gods. And since Tibia was based on these kinds of games, well, the idea was based on it, people were calling us gods all the time, and I think many people forgot about that, and it's just usual to call my co-founders and me the gods of Tibia. Maybe some people are surprised.
It's a similar term to master in Dungeons and Dragons, right?
Yes, right. Yeah. That's a good comparison. Yes, and people don't reflect on where the title is coming from. I think.
Good answer. We have some another aspect of these games, and there is a question more recent. What do you think about the current format of online massive games? And I wish you to explain to my audience what is Lightbringer, which is a game you insert you put it in the Zen NFT and blockchain games. You earn money playing it. How it works?
Okay, yeah. So Lightbringer is our latest game, which we started last year, and it's based on blockchain technology, and it's special in many ways. It's completely decentralized. So we don't run any servers for it. Well, there's a web server to download it, but after that, there are only clients, and they are communicating over the blockchain. And everything you own in the game is not administrated by us, the game company, but by the game itself. And everything you can own in the game, you can trade. That's the principle of it. So everything you own, it feels really realistic, because you can anytime you can decide to transfer all the assets you own into real value, into cryptocurrency, and that's the basic idea. And it's also inspired by Tibia, kind of, because trading was always a big part of Tibia, and we know that everything which you earn in the game and which you have worked for in the game will get really valuable for yourself. And yes, and it will lead to people trading the stuff. And while it's only one aspect of many aspects in the game of Tibia, it's the center of the game Lightbringer. So yeah, that's basically the idea behind it.
Okay. Another question I bring to my audience these images of Lightbringer, you to know about that. But I was like 10 years old when I heard Tibia for the first time. 10, 11. I don't remember exactly. But I have a question, because Tibia was very basic, very huge. We have like a world to explore. We have that something, and the game had like 25 years. It's a surprise for you that Brazil is the second country for Tibia today, even today.
Yeah. Actually, it's for Tibia, it's the number one market and the number
Brazil.
one player base. Yeah, Brazil, absolutely. Yeah, so most of our players are from Brazil. And is it surprising to me? Well, I grew used to it, but in the beginning, I think most players from Brazil joined after the year 2000. So when Tibia was growing the fastest, I think around 2004 and 2005, most players at that time joined from Brazil, and the Brazilian community grew very fast at that time. And actually, we never had any control over this. It just happened, and we were very surprised that we found so many fans in Brazil. And looking back, we now realize the reasons for that. There are quite a few reasons why that is. For example, Tibia was always a downloadable game in a time where most other games had to be bought, and these kind of games, boxed games, were very expensive. But you could start playing Tibia for free. You just needed an old PC. Tibia was always very friendly for old hardware, so you could play it on any old PC. And I think these factors led that many people in Brazil just downloaded it and played it. It was very popular in internet cafes in Brazil. So many people saw other players playing there.
We call that internet cafes like LAN houses.
LAN houses, yes, yeah. Yeah, absolutely, and there were special Tibia LAN houses for at the time then, and people loved to play it there, and it really spread from one player to the next. And we never did any marketing or anything like that in Brazil. It just grew, and we're very, very grateful for all the Brazilian players who found us and are now big fans of Tibia.
How many players we have in Tibia today, and why you think? How many players in the servers? What the numbers? And you think the game has this long because he's playable in every machine we have now?
I think that's one reason of many reasons. Yeah, and yeah, we have. Well, currently there are maybe around 250,000 to 300,000 Tibia players, which will visit the game every month, and around 100,000 are coming from Brazil. So these are the numbers which we currently have, I think. Sorry, what was the second question?
No, the numbers of players you already answered, the machine. And I have another question.
Yes.
More personal, because we want to know more about the creator of Tibia. What games you like most outside Sipsoft, and what inspires you in your work?
Yes. Well, there are some classic games that really inspired us back then, and I still love them. I think the most prominent is the Ultima series, which I played as a child, and obviously Tibia is heavily inspired by the old Ultima games, even before there was Ultima Online. So we were playing the single player RPG Ultima, and discovered the internet and just realized that it would be perfect to combine both things, a living world like Ultima, and the possibility to play with many players over the internet, and that's why we created Tibia at that time. So yeah, the Ultima series. I also like really simple old games. Like I'm a big fan of the original Tetris on the original Game Boy, on the classic Game Boy. I'm really good at playing it even now. And but I also like newer games. I really think Minecraft is a very great game, a very special game. And but I like a lot of things, GTA, and I also don't mind a game of poker. Yeah, I'm working on games all day long. So in the evening, I'm just looking for something to relax. So I'm also playing very simple. I don't know, even idle games. I like even idle games. They are cool as well.
Mm-hmm. Your new game, we talk about that. Your NFT game, like Lightbringer, it's a new niche. And you're from Germany, and your projects are focused in different publics. What do you think about Sipsoft? In world, you are focusing in new publics with new titles. You have any plans from the future in another formats? Can you tell us about these future projects or future initiatives?
So okay. Yeah, of course. So during the past years, we had a period at Sipsoft where we did a lot of experiments, and we thought a lot about innovative technologies, and that's also where Lightbringer is coming from. So we pretty early realized that blockchain will be something which will be big in online gaming. But during the last 2 years, we actually realized that we want to shift our focus again, and we really want to come back more to our roots. And actually, we decided this year that we really want to focus on creating living online game worlds, like Tibia. That's a good example, but it doesn't have to be an MMORPG. It can be understood a little bit broader, and we're currently experimenting with different concepts and working on something new. And I hope that next year we can release something in a very early development stage, but we will invite some people to take a look at it. And we're really excited about it to really come back to our roots and focus on game worlds which are similar like Tibia. And everyone at Sipsoft is excited to see what's coming up next year.
Think about some esports genre like League of Legends or some competitive ones to do something like that?
Actually, in the past, we tried a bit of that. We had a game which was called Pencil League, and it was a bit like a League of Legends, but with tanks. And it was a mobile game. And even though we're pretty proud of the game, it's a nice game. We don't really felt like that's what our fans are looking for. So we really tried to create something completely new. As I said, we realized that we have so much experience.
Panzer is the name, right?
Pencil League. It's not online anymore. It's not online anymore.
Okay, but we have a trailer here.
yeah, right. Yeah, it's kind of similar to League of Legends. So we also experimented with these kinds of concepts in the past, and it was kind of the first game. One of the first games which were running on mobiles, so that was the USP for this one. But as I said, we realized that we have a lot more knowledge about running big, massive online games, and we really want to come back to these kind of concepts and basically stick to what we know best. So what we are best at creating, and so we're currently working on something new.
A question: what do you think about the Brazilian market? What do you know about us? What do you think Brazilians have a good? They have a good taste. What do you define the taste from Brazilian customers, from your point of view, of Tibia, which you have the largest public in Brazil?
It's I think it's an amazing market. It's so lively. It's happening so much over there, and people are embracing many things, many kind of games. There's a really huge gaming culture in Brazil, and it's much bigger as far as I can than in many other countries. And it's fascinating to see how fast the adoption is of new games and new concepts. And I always enjoy watching influencers and streamers of Brazil. Tibia has many very successful streamers in Brazil, and it's great to watch them, but also to see what other games they are playing. And I think it's I feel honored that Brazilian people really like and love Tibia, and many people know Tibia in Brazil. I'm actually pretty proud of that, and I hope that our upcoming games will also find some Brazilian fans. And also Lightbringer is actually most players of Lightbringer are also coming from Brazil. So somehow I think we hit the taste of Brazilian people.
Another personal question I wish to know, and my audience wants to. What video games means to you? And about art, about culture, about technology. You talk about a lot of blockchain technology. This view of gaming as an economy.
Yes.
What is video game means to you as a developer?
Well, for me, it's my life. Yeah. So I was always playing and creating games all my life, and I love computer games and gaming. And I think, well, as we know, it's a huge industry now. So many people are working in the games industry now, and it's great to see how big and how diverse the whole gaming market is now. And yeah, I'm proud to be a part of it. It's I think over the years the games became more specialized. So in the early days, like Tibia and other games at that time, they were very general. So many kind of player types felt there's something in each of these games for them. And now the games got more specialized and are more targeted towards specific tastes. And like League of Legends, it's a very competitive, very PvP focused game, and you have other titles. So there are so many different things, and also the blockchain gaming. It also addresses other needs and other interests which gamers have. So I think it's such a big topic. It's very difficult to answer your question in a few sentences. But it's exciting to see everything what happens these days and in Brazil, and yeah, I'm happy to be part of it.
Another question. I was at Europe like 10 years ago. Whoa, like 2012. There is Europe is like a great market. Do you think Brazil needs more developers, more people making games? Do you know any Brazilian game? And another thing, what people can learn, like five first steps to start make games, in your opinion?
Well, I know that there is an active community developing computer games in Brazil. Actually, maybe you can help me. What kind of titles? I'm sure there will be titles everyone knows which are coming from Brazil, but I don't have the names in my mind right now.
No problem, no problem.
Yeah.
I just ask for curiosity because there is some games like Unsighted this year. Celeste, it's not a Brazilian game, it's a Canadian one, but has a Brazilian crew there. Was at the Game Awards. So
Yes. Yeah. So that's a problem. Often you know the publisher and where it comes from, but not the studio behind it. And actually,
because when you are in Steam, you are not looking for Brazilian games. You are looking for games.
Yes. Right. Absolutely. And yeah. So you asked what 5 steps
you recommend you.
Yeah. So. The first step is the most important, and it's to turn off Netflix. So it just
troubles you.
Yeah, it just needs time, and you have just to start. I think the most important thing is just to start. Just stop watching something and just consume something. Just work on something. So that's the most important thing. And these days there are so many great tools out there which are very accessible and very easy to start with. Yeah, there are really nice game engines like Unity and even Unreal. You can start right away, open some demo projects and start modifying them. I think that's a good start point. Just modding something that already exists and experimenting with them, and then you dive deeper, and you will try to learn about scripting and programming, and then you go from there. And another thing I can recommend is maybe think about what fascinates you the most about a game. What kind of aspect is it? Is it the game design? Is it the game content, the stories behind it, or is it the graphics or the sound? And probably you will find that some of these topics are more interesting to you, and then I recommend to learn about them. So there are books out there, but it's so easy on the internet to find information and to find tutorial videos. It's so easy to start with learning today. Back then, when we started a program to develop for Tibia, there was only one book for internet development.
What
one
book?
English
what
book. It was called, I think something like Programming Servers and Clients for Unix.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we still have it here in the office. It's kind of famous. It's an old blue book, and so yeah, that's where we started. And today you have so many easy opportunities to learn stuff. And another thing I think which really helps is find other people who also love games and who also are interested in creating something, because it's so much more fun if you're creating games together and inspire each other what to do. And that's also how Tibia started. We were pushing each other and showing, so yeah, I've created this thing here and this feature, and the next one introduced something else, and it just grew, and it was fantastic to see.
A question: what do you think about two games? Where I remember when I talk with my friends about Tibia. What do you think about Ragnarok Online and World of Warcraft? Do you like these games? They are so different from Tibia. I wish to know your opinion about it.
You mean World of Warcraft or anything else, or
World of Warcraft and Ragnarok Online?
Okay.
South Korean, yeah.
Yeah, I know. Great games, of course. So actually, I really admire every other online game and MMORPG which is out there, and of course World of Warcraft. I also played it a little bit in the past. Of course, every of these games are very time consuming, so you cannot really play all of them. These are also great games, and interesting thing is that all of these games usually keep the atmosphere and the setting and the spirit of the time when they started. So when Tibia started in 1997, it was a 2D game, top-down perspective, and World of Warcraft was like, I don't know, 6 years later, and it's 3D, but it's still different from what comes onto the market today here. So and I think every community loves its own game. So in Tibia, for example, from time to time we have asked in the past if we maybe should change the graphics, make it more like 3D or something, and players always told us no, never. Just leave it just like that, because we love the game as it is. And I think Tibia started as a state-of-the-art game at that time, and then of course become over the time a bit of outdated, and the graphics seem to be old. But now, 25 years later, it's retro, it's old school, and it's cool basically, because it looks like that again. And I think every of the other games are a bit like that, especially if they are around for a long time. So they all have their special appeal, basically.
Steve, thank you very much. Do you have anything to say to us that I didn't ask?
Yes. So I'm not speaking to Brazilian people that often. So if any Tibia players are listening right now, I just want to say thank you so much for playing Tibia, and for sticking around so long with
25 years.
Yes, 25 years. You guys are amazing. Yeah. So we're really proud that and very thankful for every player and for all the Brazilian people who play the game and are still playing it after 25 years. Thank you.
Very much, Steve. We will remain in this live because I will say my audience about your answers in Portuguese. So thank you very much, Steve. You are welcome here.
Thank you for having me.
Nice to meet you.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Pedro.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Tivemos aqui o Steve da Sipsoft, gente, aqui falando, um dos criadores do Tibia, jogo que existe há 25 anos. Vou dar um resuminho aqui das respostas dele. A gente perguntou a respeito do novo jogo que ele desenvolveu aqui, focado no público de NFT e blockchain, que é o jogo aqui, o Lightbringer. Mostramos na tela um pouco, ele falou um pouco dessa nova tecnologia e também do fato dele se focar um pouco nessa questão das criptomoedas, dos jogos focados mais em economia. Essa foi a primeira parte da entrevista. Depois a gente falou um pouquinho mais de gostos pessoais. Ele falou para a gente a respeito de uma inspiração muito bacana. Acho que meu sócio Cal vai gostar bastante de saber que o Ultima Online foi um jogo que inspirou Tibia nos seus primórdios. Ele falou um pouquinho dos jogos favoritos dele, falou que gosta muito de Minecraft, falou que gosta muito de GTA, falou que gosta muito de vários jogos interessantes. Eu tô traduzindo aqui as respostas, gente, porque felizmente a vida tá corrida, a gente vai conseguir colocar legendas aqui nessa entrevista, mas também a gente perguntou a respeito, além dos jogos favoritos dele, ele deu dicas de desenvolvimento para o pessoal encontrar as coisas que eles mais gostam dentro de um game, que pode ser a questão do som, dos gráficos, da programação, e pediu para as pessoas estudarem. Falou que na época da criação do Tibia, que foi lá em 1997, tinha apenas um livro de desenvolvimento, então era uma coisa que era bastante complicada na época. E aí ele falou para a gente também um pouquinho. Eles estão pensando em novos projetos, chegaram a pensar em alguma coisa de esportes. Ele não adiantou ainda nada, nenhum nome. Falou um pouquinho também de um jogo inspirado mais em esportes da Sipsoft, que infelizmente não foi continuado. Foi um jogo que foi brevemente interrompido, que foi o Panzer Legal. A gente mostrou também aí alguns trailers dele, e no finalzinho da entrevista a gente perguntou um pouco do significado dos jogos para ele, falamos um pouquinho do público brasileiro, que ele disse que gosta bastante. Ele disse que não conhece tantos jogos brasileiros, mas não é um desleixo de maneira nenhuma, é que quando a gente está procurando jogos no Steam, muitas vezes a gente não pesquisa por trás das publishers, não pesquisa atrás dos desenvolvedores. Falei para ele, inclusive, a questão do jogo Celeste, que é um jogo canadense, e teve desenvolvimento da Amora e do Santo, que são desenvolvedores brasileiros. Chegou a ser o melhor jogo indie no The Game Awards. E a gente falou um pouquinho das dicas para a galera começar a desenvolver, que ele falou para o pessoal não ter tantas distrações, para se focar nos projetos de fato e ir testando aí as iniciativas dele. Ele falou um pouquinho da relação de comunidade, falou inclusive uma coisa, não imaginava que ele fosse responder, mas foi muito legal, que foi a questão do World of Warcraft e do Ragnarok Online, que eram jogos que eu lembro na época que eu conheci Tibia, competiam bastante nessa questão do MMORPG. Ele falou que gosta de jogar WoW, acompanhou o sucesso de Ragnarok Online e falou um pouco da importância das comunidades. Então, eu queria agradecer a todo mundo que acompanhou aqui as entrevistas com a gente. Fazemos essa programação semanal, foi uma coisa muito bacana aqui, que a assessoria da Sipsoft conseguiu para a gente, o Jesus Fabre, muita gente bacana contribuiu para que essa entrevista acontecesse. Não esqueçam, Drops Debate acontece todas as terças-feiras, a menos quando tem atrasos, alguma mudança, às 3 da tarde, e também temos o News Games da Rádio Week, que hoje não temos programa, que rola nas terças-feiras às 9h30 da noite. Vida longa e próspera, galera. Obrigado a todo mundo que acompanhou aqui a live. Eu vi nos grupos de WhatsApp que o pessoal acompanhou e quero agradecer a todo mundo que conferiu essa entrevista. Daqui a alguns instantes eu vou estar subindo lá no site, gente. Obrigado pela atenção de todo mundo. Boa tarde para todo mundo. Bom almoço para quem não almoçou, gente. Até mais. Tchau, tchau.